y'all, I just found out the truth about tithes.
Hey there everybody, it's just me again, Joe. So in this original video, she says that she discovered what tithes were actually for, and that we're all greatly deceived. She then proceeds to read Old Testament scriptures that dealt with the country of Israel, and before the time of churches, because remember, the churches started in the book of Acts, which is in the New Testament, about 1,000 years before. And then therefore said that's how it's supposed to be established for today. She also disregards thousands of years of theologians and scholars and Jewish history and culture because God revealed this to her when she read a scripture verse. This is not exegesis, this is exegesis, where she's implanting her thoughts into the scriptures to make it say what she wants it to say. Sadly, those who do not follow Isaiah 4:16a or 4:6a study to show thyself approved, because my people are destroyed for their lack of knowledge of my word. Talking about God speaking about his people, that'd be you and I. Because they don't study it, and they therefore don't have a spirit of discernment, they liked her video and shared it over 2,000 times. The sad fact is, the scripture she was reading was for a group of people at that certain time. She said that she believed that the church is to tell you to tithe to the church and never question what they do with the money. Just give it to the church. Just give it to them and let them hold it. That's it. Which is not what churches do. Churches is you and I, and we meet in a building where we have church service together, where church and church serves together to worship our God in a mutual place, in a building. We give our tithes there because we don't go to Jewish temples to give our tithe, and we don't give to Levites, which were the priests, which are aka the pastors, which they also did in that time if you were actually even studying Jewish culture and spiritual beliefs of that said timepiece in Deuteronomy. There was other things that they had to do because they didn't have churches there that gave to the poor, that gave to the widows, that fed the hungry, that clothed the naked, and took care of orphans and widows. The church has always done that. 90% of all organizations that feed the hungry, that clothe the naked, that take care of orphans and widows are all done by Christians and churches, including 97% of all hospitals around the world, which is taking care of the sick on top of it, has been opened up by either Christians or churches. Her solution was don't give to the organization that you come together and worship at with fellow church believers, but instead take that tithe money and just go out and party. Go out and eat and just drink and just have a great time. Because apparently that's what they would do if they couldn't go to, if it said in the scriptures that if you could not go to a temple to give your tithe, God gave them directions about how to use their tithes to take care of the hungry, the naked, the poor, the orphans, and the widows. Which was buying food for them, which was buying clothes for them, which was having a celebration which they could all come to, a gathering place. What's a church again? A gathering place where they could then use these said resources. The church does this. Now, with that being said, if you go to a church, like she says that she goes to, and if you ask, what do you do with the tithes? And they tell you, shut up, don't ask what we do with the money. We're not going to tell you or show you. I would strongly advise you leave that church. Because that church is not a biblical church. That church is not doing the commandments of God, and they're hiding, and they're not being transparent. Every church I know of does the opposite of what she says her church does. There is PDF files, there's records, paper trail, showing of all the things that the church does with the money to help the people in their said community. So let's recap. The scripture she said if you can't go to your local temple, aka for today, the church, then go and take care of the widows, the orphans, the naked, the hungry, the poor, and all that, and the sick, with those tithe monies. If you live in America and you have no way to get to a church, all you have to do is call the church. The church will come get you. Or someone in the church will volunteer to come get you. Also, we have the internet, which means you can go to any church you want, not just here in America, but around the world, in which you can send your tithe so that the church that you go to, either virtually or physically, can do the commandments of God as dictated by God Himself. If you follow this woman's advice and you take your 10%, your tithe, and you use it to go stuff your own face and have a party, you are not following the commandments of God, and you are stealing from God, as it says in Malachi, and anything that happens to you because of it is because you are breaking the covenant with God. Now, also, I want you to like this video, I want you to share this video, and hit that follow button for more videos just like this.